But right now, let's talk to Ernie in California. Ernie, you're on the air.
Hey, Alex, real quick. I'm going to be fast, just like you said. Okay. Hey, on the 21st, Governor Brewer of Arizona did a little interview with Gretchen, what's her name? Greta
Van Susteren.
Yeah, there you go. And this lady was right on. And it's basically the government's not doing nothing, just like this oil spill, which personally I think is a Halliburton job. This is a disaster of Obama. They're looking at it like it's nothing. And just one weird thing. I was watching the movie Knowing with Nicolas Cage the other day, and one of the disasters on the prediction was an oil rig in the middle of the Gulf on fire. Are they sticking it in our face again? And that's all I got to say. And other than that, I am against the New World Order. I'm pushing out their videos as much as I can. But this lady's on, this administration is pushing the New World, and they're laughing and destroying our country on the ocean and on the inside. Thank you.
Well, thank you. 35, 36 days into this, I think they blew it up on purpose more and more. You say, why would BP do this? Well, BP is the main funder of sustainability, i.e. land grabbing. BP is the main pusher of the global warming taxes, on record. They were the main sponsor of the Copenhagen Treaty. And the globalists are all about falling on their sword and being rebuilt later. And so they pay a few $billion, but in the cost of oil going up, they make a few billion extra. And then it becomes a great political diversion for all the legislation moving its way through Congress and the gear up towards war. And this very oil rig was given awards by Obama. 2 hours before, they were reporting problems. They've been lying about it since day one. He had announced they were going to allow offshore drilling everywhere, and then suddenly this happens, and it's always, well, it's actually BP that gets most of the Alaska oil. That's what a sweetheart deal they've got with our government. They're so elite, owned by the Queen of the Netherlands and the Queen of England are the two partners, biggest partners in it, that now this is going to allow a shutdown of oil drilling all over, not just the coastlines of the U.S., but inside the U.S. And I could go on and on. It's taken me over a month. I've just let the information collate. You know, I mean, a good cop will call it a hunch. It's not really a hunch, folks. It's the human brain you've got, the incredible supercomputer. And I just get all the data, and then a lot of times I can't even tell you why. You know, simply I think it's an inside job. I just suddenly in my gut know, and then I could go over all the evidence, which we just covered some of it. It's my gut. Now, something like Gulf of Tonkin, it's not my gut. It's been declassified. That was staged, or Operation Ajax, or Operation Gladio, or 9/11, or 7/7. By the way, of all places, that's the London Guardian headline, government investigating MI5 role in 7/7. Wow, 5 years later, and the government role. In fact, guys, I had that article. Will you reprint me that? I can't find it. It was in my stack, and it was moved. Thank you. Government role, MI5 role in 7/7 probe, London Guardian. I want to go over some of that today. I meant to cover it yesterday. But, okay, let's go back to your calls. Let's talk to Gary in New Orleans, getting hit by the oil. Gary, welcome.
Hey, yeah, appreciate it. I'm calling from WGSO 990 AM. This is the Patriot Radio Show. And we're calling for advice because the New World Order is at our doorstep at the moment. And what's happened for the last 30 days, it's a same template as Katrina. All help locally or on the state level has been denied. And now the oil is already through Grand Isle, already into Timalaya Bay, and they're still not allowing any help. Now, there are fishermen.
And they don't allow the media to go, even CBS. They're told, look, we're private contractors. BP's in command. Back up.
Right. Well, what's happening is that the fishermen
BP blew it on purpose. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. But what I'm calling for is advice because the fishermen and the local people are lining up because there's no more time to waste. And what would be the best course of action? Would it be to try to set up a fund for the parish presidents? Because let me just say this. Janet Napolitano is in Cutoff, Louisiana right now. That should tell you enough that we're in an emergency. So what can we do? Because we're at the point to where the governor's saying we can't wait anymore. FEMA, Homeland Security, they're saying we have to just wait. And it's already destroying us. And on top of that, they're dispersing this Corexit chemical. And it's
which is worse than the oil. Yeah, oil is goopy and messy, but it's not that toxic. Stay there. Folks, on a similar vein, along the lines of the oil spill, the globalists are into the occult, and they're into numerology. And they believe that they have to tell you what they're going to do before they do it. That's why they had TV ads, radio ads, print ads, movies in the lead up to 9/11, where they told you on 9/11 we're going to blow up the World Trade Center. To the point of I was able to go on air 6 months before, 3 months before, and specifically 2 months before, and lay out how and when it was going to happen. And that's on record. Remember, they had lone gunman episodes where the government hijacks a jumbo jet by remote control to fly it in the World Trade Center and uses a drill to make NORAD stand down. They're going to blame it on Afghanistan. The exact same thing happened. We just confirmed. My wife kept telling me to watch this Nicolas Cage movie, but I didn't have time, called Knowing. And it's about the end of the world and basically aliens rapture us. It's like a UFO cult meets Revelations. And we just went and watched the clip on the TV screen from the film as he's waking up. April 20th, there is a oil rig explosion in the Gulf of Mexico and a huge oil leak. And this is April 20th, 2010 in the movie. Well, guess what happened on April 20th, 2010? And the folks that pointed this out from the Knowing, it's a YouTube clip of it, they point out, they show the so-called CNN reporter on the Knowing, and then they cut to the real CNN reporter saying almost word for word the same thing. This is just like Oil Storm, the made-for-TV movie, where they even got the mayor of New Orleans to be in it about a hurricane hitting and it flooding everything and people going to the Superdome. They love throwing it in our face. And yes, I've had Ben Livingston, the father of weather weapons, on Stanford Research Institute, 67. They've been creating and controlling and steering hurricanes since the early 60s, but U.S. government certified in 1967, and that's up on prisonplanet.tv, that full interview if you want to watch it from 4 years ago. But I can't even handle this anymore. In fact, get me Paul Watson on air right now. Just get me Paul Watson on air. Dial him in right now. I want to talk to Watson live on air right now. These people, I just can't handle it. They love the plausible deniability of putting this in their movies. And if they are starting to plant things, because I'm now reading the synopsis. Looks like it has North Korea in the movie, and now that started up. The globalists just love to play God. That's why they love weather control, tectonic weapons. And this isn't conspiracy theory. This is conspiracy fact that they do this kind of stuff. So when we go live on TV next hour, I'm going to get into this. And why the globalists engage in these type of activities. While they're getting Watson on the line, I want to talk to him on live on air. I'm going to give this job to Watson. Just tell him I'm putting him on air right now. Good. And then I'm going to go back to Gary, Julio, Kathy, Tommy, Mike, Tommy, Chris, and others. Watson, are you there? Are you there, Watson?
Yeah.
You weren't listening to the show, were you?
No, I was finishing the article.
An article on what?
Rand Paul.
Oh, I tell you, that's just disgusting what they're doing to him. Okay, well, we're live on the air right now, just so you know. I got shook up by what I just saw because it's got to be it's happened over 100 times. Now, remember all those articles you wrote and that I wrote and that the videos we posted in like 2002, 2003, 2004 about how the New York lottery on the 1-year anniversary came up 911 only in New York, or how they had TV ads, radio ads, lone gunmen, other shows where the government is going to blow up the towers for martial law, and they're going to use a drill to make NORAD stand down, and all the numerology and all the full page ads in magazines about blowing up the Twin Towers brought to you by, Defense Department contractors. Remember all of that, Watson?
Yes.
and how they have this revelation of the method to condition the public and why they do it, how it's like a psychopathic calling card. You know, like psychos like to taunt the police department before they strike again, but they also believe that it gives them more magical power in the first level of the lesser magic to make the announcement publicly beforehand. Nicolas Cage made a film called The Knowing. My wife says it's powerful. I've read the synopsis. I haven't seen it. Have you seen The Knowing?
No, I haven't. I'm just watching the trailer now.
Okay, yeah, we sent it to you. Well, that's not a trailer. It's a clip from the film. In fact, guys, I own it at home. Somebody go to Best Buy right now and buy it. Will somebody get saddled up and go right now and get me the film so we actually have the clip from it?